Happy Monday, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode, and I hope each and every one of you enjoyed the weekend. As we're about to go into this a new week, I wish nothing but safety, best wishes, and all the nice things for you for the week ahead. Now, today we'll be doing the predicted 11 for the Jamaica versus Guatemala game. Now, Jamaica played Guatemala a few days ago, and I know the Jamaican fans, they were over the moon by that result. Jamaica won that game 3-0 with a brace coming from Warner Brown. And now the question has become, who starts? As this game obviously means a lot. Jamaica hasn't lost an opening game in the Gold Cup in well over a decade, and going into this one, we hope to continue that trend. Coach Steve McLaren, he's tasked with the humongous task of basically picking the 11. Mikel Antonio back in the squad, Ethan Pinnock back in the squad as well. The last few games, World Cup qualifiers as well as the Unity Cup, we didn't see neither of these individuals, and as such, this one is going to be a little bit trickier because now he has this plethora of talent at his disposal, and all of them are vying for a place in the starting 11. And not only in the starting 11, because with the recent announcement of the World Cup qualifying third round group, all of these players will be vying for a place in the squad, because this time more than ever it looks as if Jamaica will be going to the World Cups. Let's get to it. Before I even go any further, remember, smash the like button, subscribe to Halftime TV if you haven't yet done so, alright? And keep the comments coming below this video. I know you've been doing extremely well in regards to sharing your thoughts and who you think should be in the squad and all of that fun stuff. So let's keep those conversations going beneath the video. As I said in previous videos, it's more of, or a little bit of interaction, considering these sit-down videos they don't really offer the opportunity to have really reciprocal dialogue. Let's keep those conversations going below. In goal, I think Andre Blake. I think if there's any position on the Jamaican national team that's cemented and sure, I think it's the goalkeeper. Andre Blake, the best goalkeeper that Jamaica has had in, some may say, even ever, and one of the best goalkeepers in MLS history. I think Andre Blake in the Gold Cup, definitely CONCACAF's best goalkeeper right now. He starts for Jamaica. He's an automatic start. He retains his place between the sticks. I think right back, I'm going to go with Joel Latibodiere. I think the last game he did well for himself, and over the years we've seen Latibodiere, whenever he's come into that national team setup, he's done well. Still only 25 years of age, so we expect him to have a long future with the Reggae Boys setup. On left back, I'm gonna go with Amari Bell. Now, Greg Lay has played I think a couple of games in recent months. He's looked good as well, but I think it's a good problem for the coach to have, and good substitutes there on the bench. We have Dexter Lembikisa, who can come in at any time as well. So the options for left back and right back, I'm gonna go with Greg Lay and Dexter Lembikisa. But as far as the starters go, Amari Bell on one side and Joel Latibodiere on the other. As far as centre backs go, now Richard King, the Cavalier youngster, he recently earned a move to Scotland, and he will be plying his trade in Scotland come the upcoming season. He has been excellent for the Jamaican team, let me put it that way. Since whenever he's given an opportunity, he's been excellent. And I think going into this Gold Cup, and the coach was asked about it last evening as well at his press conference, and he said he's tried a number of different centre-back pairings, and it's basically who is ready on the day, and he has a big job in front of him, but the talent is there, and he's happy with the talent at his disposal. He's watching them in training, he's paying attention to what's being done and the energy that's been that's been asserted in training. So a lot of these players, they're playing the training games as if it's a match, because each training session, based on what I've seen through the press conferences, each training session is an audition for these players. All right, so I think going into this one, Guatemala versus Jamaica, I think the centre back pairing will be Damian Lowe and Richard King, and I'll tell you why. Mason Holgate, he's an option. he limped off in the previous game. Ethan Pinnock, he's coming in. I know he has all that experience and he's possibly Jamaica's best center half, but he hasn't played any of the last 4 or 5 games with the Jamaican team. And I think just 1 or 2 training sessions, that may not be enough. Maybe by the second game he will be in the starting lineup. But in my opinion, for this first game, because Damian Lowe and Richard King, they played in the last couple of games. I know just half a game in the previous game, but they played together in the last few setups. I think it should be easier for the opening game of the tournament for both of them to kick this one off. So I'm going to go with Richard King and Damian Lowe as a centre-back pairing, but don't be surprised if the coach opts to go with Damian Lowe and Ethan Pinnock. You can't really lose, I mean, because similar traits, similar attributes with both players. It's just that in the recent games, I feel that Richard King being in that team would be a better fit in my opinion. But as I said, the coach has the option, and I won't be surprised if the coach decides to go with Ethan Pinnock there. But in midfield, who do we have? So John Russell, I think he's been excellent whenever he's played for the Jamaican national team. Got a goal in the last game as well, played up to 80 minutes, and then Ravel Morrison came on for him. And I'm going to go with Isaac Hayden as the second midfielder there. So Isaac Hayden and John Russell, those are the 2 in midfield that I'm going to go with. I think they looked good in the previous game, and although it was a weakened Guatemala team, I still think they can do a job for the Jamaican national team on their day. John Russell, we're seeing him chipping in with the goals, and that's always good when you're getting goals from your midfielders. All right, so those are the midfield 2. Let's pull it back from the top. In goal, we have Andre Blake. The defensive quartet, we have Amari Bell, Joel Latibodier, Richard King, and Damian Lowe. Those are the 4 I'm going with. In midfield, Isaac Hayden and John Russell. Those are the 2 there. And now it's time for the attacking phase of the squad of the starting lineup. Oof. This is the toughest part because Jamaica has so many wonderful attackers right now. I think as far as attackers go, we're probably one of the most potent attacking teams in CONCACAF based on individual quality. Let's get to it. We have Ronaldo Cephas. I know his previous game was one of the quieter ones, but based on what he's done in the last 3 games, I think he starts in this one. So Ronaldo Cephas starts on the left, that number 10 space. I'm going to go with Demari Gray, as I did the last time. On the right, I'm going to go with Leon Bailey. We know he hasn't been excellent in the recent games, but I think there has been a significant improvement from what we've seen in previous years over the last couple of games. Not in the last couple of games, the last game. So he had a good game in the last game, and I think a lot of Jamaican fans waxing lyrical, saying this is the best they've seen Leon Bailey in Jamaican colours. I think Coach Steve McLaren will want to build on that momentum. On the right hand side, Leon Bailey. In the middle, Demari Gray. On the left hand side, Ronaldo Cephas. Those are the 3 that I'm going across there. And starting in that striker's position, or the number 9 position, I'm going to go with Warner Brown. He got a brace against Guatemala in the last game, and I think where we've seen in international football and in club football, there are certain teams that certain strikers they have joy against, they enjoy playing against. I think Guatemala could be Warner Brown's team, and I think as a coach you'd want to give him the opportunity to continue on the trajectory that he's currently on. And as I said, brace in the first game against Guatemala. Why not throw him in there again and see what else he has in store for the team? So those are the 11 players that I expect to start for the Jamaican national team in their game against Guatemala later this evening. Again, I'll run it over. In goal, we have Andre Blake, back 4, Joel Latibodier, Damian Lowe, Richard King, and Amari Bell. Midfield, Isaac Hayden and John Russell. The attacking 3, Leon Bailey, Demari Gray, and Ronaldo Cephas. And in the number 9 position, I'm going to go with Warner Brown. Those are my thoughts. Let's hear what your thoughts are. Drop them below. Who would you remove from my starting 11? Who would you include? Let's hear those. Take care of yourself, folks. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful day today. Don't forget like this video if you enjoy the content. Until next time, peace.